Hello everyone, thank you for watching and listening. This topic of this video is going to be how to find spiritual meaning during these uncertain times, how to cope with the uncertainty that this virus is now bringing into our lives all of a sudden. And if you're wondering why I've got Buddha levitating beside me, apart from my surname obviously being Chung, I just found out that I actually share the birthday of Buddha as I'm updating my Element Encyclopedia of birthdays. I'm doing influential people born on each day, so I actually find out that I share Buddha's birthday, so that was wonderful. But anyway, joking aside, back to serious matters. Finding spiritual meaning during times of crisis and uncertainty as we are right now. A lot of people over the years have written to me to say, why do bad things happen to good people, as is happening right now? And it's something that breaks my heart too. Every time I see injustice and cruelty to people who don't deserve it, or unfairness, it really, really makes me rail at the heavens and say, why? Just like everybody else, I struggle with that. But I've come to terms with it over the years, and I talk about this in my book, in that we're probably not going to understand in our lifetime why bad things happen to good people. That's something we may well understand in spirit when we transition to the other side, life in spirit. But the power is in the asking of the question. You just imagine a world where nobody asked why difficult things happened, why there was injustice, why there was cruelty. We would get very nonchalant, wouldn't we? We wouldn't have empathy, we wouldn't have compassion, we wouldn't have these golden spiritual values of empathy, compassion and unconditional love if we stopped asking that question, why is there injustice? So please don't ever stop asking that question. Keep on asking, why are we having this virus? Why are there natural disasters? Why is there cruelty? Why is there injustice? Because every time you ask it, you become more spiritually aware, awake and evolved. And I think the reason we are here on this earth is to evolve spiritually. And one of the ways to do that is to become more empathetic and compassionate, these golden spiritual values. Another spiritual take on this virus is, I don't know about you, but I feel it's forcing us all inward. Physically as well, because some people are confined to their homes right now. So if your life has been defined by externals, your job, your career, even your relationships, because we're being asked now to keep a distance from people and do the elbow shake and all that, it's forcing us to actually look at ourselves as a source of meaning and fulfillment and happiness, rather than looking outside to externals. So try and see this time almost like a contemplative time, a time when you can reflect on who you are, what your meaning and purpose is, getting your sense of wholeness and completeness and fulfillment simply for being you, not because of necessarily what you're doing or who you're with, etc., or who approves of you. Too many of us look outside ourselves for a sense of completeness, but you can't during the times of the virus because life's kind of pausing, and I think it's wonderful to take advantage of that pause. Think of it as going into a monastery or a nunnery and taking time to reflect on your meaning and purpose, because heaven begins not from the outside in, which in previous decades I feel we've got to a world where we are looking externally to science, to technology, to materialism, to other people, to relationships, to how we look to make us happy. Heaven starts from the inside out. So take this as a really big spiritual wake-up call of finding your sense of completion and fulfillment from the inside out. You are being forced inwards right now. But how do you cope if you are forced to self-quarantine or you're worried about what's going to happen to your loved ones? Of course, it's very, very scary right now, but the reason is because it's uncertain. We do not know. And I'm going to suggest 4 techniques to help you deal with this uncertainty, and they all begin with the letter M. The first one is mindfulness. It's a kind of a new age buzzword at the moment, but mindfulness basically means being present, living in the now, and being grateful for what you have right now, rather than what you want in the future or regretting the past. And that's a really good coping mechanism, because actually the virus is taking away all these things we take for granted, like travel, like, spending time with people we want to, going to gatherings, our work, all these things that we take for granted. We're suddenly glimpsing a life without them. So hopefully when it all passes, and it will in time, there's a season for everything, it will pass, that you will actually return to your life with even more gratitude for the things you've been taking for granted. And also learn to live in the moment and to find your sense of completion and fulfillment right here in the now. So that's mindfulness. Now, if you struggle with mindfulness, I talk about this in my books. I mean, I don't take easy to meditation and mindfulness, despite it's something I struggle because I'm a bit of a fidget. You know, I love doing things. If you do, there's some wonderful apps out there, like Headspace is one I highly recommend, or you can go on YouTube and there's some wonderful meditations on there. You can just close your eyes to and live in the moment and understand the moment. So that's mindfulness. The second M is movement. Right now, you need to be getting your immune system really robust to protect you against this. And one of the best ways I've written a lot of health and lifestyle books, and exercise is one of the greatest mood boosters, but also immune boosters. People who exercise regularly, move a lot, they have a stronger immune system. So to boost both your mind and your immune system, get regular exercise. And there's nothing stopping people going out on their own and exercising. Use this time to go for a walk in the woods. It's the most divine thing. If you have a pet, take your dog for a walk. Enjoy it. Go out and move and boost your immune system. If you're haven't prioritized movement, make it a priority now. And I strongly recommend you get an app called Fitbit, because it can really help you. If, sometimes we need a bit of guidance for how much exercise to take. Get an app like that, like Fitbit, to get you out moving. Okay, the third M is mastery. Now this is twofold. Mastery, first of all, is do something that you're good at. Use this time to think about what you're really good at. There is something, it doesn't matter what it is. It can be gardening, it can be cookery, it can be tidying up, it can be singing, it can be writing. It can be someone very special to me has recently discovered a love of painting by numbers. It doesn't matter what it is, do it. And master it, because there's real power, self-esteem boosting power in that, and stress reduction power in that. Find mastery of something. The Japanese, I think it's ikigai. I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong. It's a concept in the Japanese culture of finding your meaning and purpose in life. And one of the ways to do that is to start at, what am I good at? So use this as an opportunity to find what you are good at. And it doesn't matter what other people think or say. You find something you enjoy and you're good at and master it. Learn a language, get curious, find out about the world, all these things. So that's mastery. The other aspect of mastery is bouncing back from rejection. Look back on times of your life when you've had uncertain times. You will have all had that. You're all spiritual people, and spiritual people tend to go through a lot of crisis and change. Look back on those times and think about how you overcame them and how you got through it, and you did get through it. That will give you a big confidence boost. You will cope. You will master this. You will find a way to move through this. So that's resilience, the mastery. The fourth M is we've had mindfulness, we've had movement, we've had mastery, and the last one is meaning. And that goes to the beginning of the video. The way to find meaning in life is to look at it from a spiritual perspective, looking beyond the material, looking to what your values are, the deeper meaning. Because yes, there's so much going on in life, and all this activity, and career is important, and all the things we do are important. But without a spiritual sense about a connection to the unconditional love, the compassion and empathy, life has no meaning. Find meaning. Look beyond the material for the spiritual perspective. Find the joy in the now. Use this as an opportunity to find your meaning from the inside out. And if life isn't very good for you at the moment, see that as an opportunity. See it as a gift to grow. I've recently been watching The Witcher because of my son, and I don't understand it at all, but I love it. And there's something in there that really resonated with me, was the law of surprise, and that kind of like sums up life. We think we know where we're going, but then life, like the virus, suddenly comes in and throws a huge surprise in our way. And the evolution, the spiritual development, is in how we deal with that. So never fear making mistakes. Never fear falling down and getting it wrong. Never fear disapproval. Just go out there and fail again. Stumble, because each time you do, you learn something incredibly valuable. All the successful people I've spoken to, they say that their biggest learning curve, their biggest moments of aha, revelation, illumination came after a colossal failure. I recently posted a Jeff Bezos video when he was talking about all the disastrous startups that he did before, and it was quite funny. And he was saying that even now Amazon, it constantly is doing experiments that don't work. So treat your life like an experiment. Keep on doing. Fail. I want you to fail and fail and fail again. Keep going, because it's in the failure, it's in the growth. I'm trying to say, to return to the theme of meaning, you find your meaning through growing. So even if that growing is painful because you've made a mistake, you are still living your purpose, because every time you learn, you grow. The biggest enemy of spiritual growth is not learning and having a closed mind and repeating the same mistakes again and again. If you keep on repeating the same mistake, yes, that is edging towards failure. But if you learn every time, you're growing, and every time you grow, you're finding your meaning. I do hope this has made sense, and I do hope it's helped you. Please stay strong and stay spiritual during these uncertain times. Lots of love.